From the beginning of my filmmaking career, I've been fascinated with the filmic look, and I've always strived to achieve it by learning the process of color grading, downloading film emulation LUTs, and trying different techniques to make my image look like film. There's something about the texture and feel of film that gives me a sense of nostalgia, a feeling of watching actual movies. And I understand that it's a subjective experience, but my exploration has shown that I am not the only one. This is where Dehancer comes in. Dehancer is a film emulation plugin made for a variety of editing software like Adobe Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve, specifically made to give a filmmaker an all-in-one tool that would assist in achieving that film look. Back when I was starting my journey, this would have been a godsend and made my coloring process much easier. I've been lucky enough to work on a variety of projects with various cameras from the low end to the high end, and I'll display how Dehancer works with these various setups. Dehancer has a variety of cameras in their input, informing the foundation of the pipeline, as each camera has a unique way of handling color. By choosing your specific camera, you are telling Dehancer how to configure the color space of the input camera to that of the desired film stock. In case your camera or color space doesn't feature in Dehancer, you can always convert it to Rec 709 using the factory LUT and choose Rec 709 in Dehancer as your starting point. Here we have a clip from the Nikon D5100 for a short film that I DP'd for my friends in film school. And this was the first camera that I had. And because the color space is not far away from Rec 709, I just jump into the plugin directly and use Rec 709 as my input source. And then I'd go through the film profiles to find something that I like and that is close to the image that we want for the final film. And we see from this that the plugin is meant to augment what's already there. So the costume, the lighting, the location, and even the camera settings play an integral role towards the final image. The other stuff that I'd tinker with is the halation, bloom, and grain, which are important characteristics of film that Dehancer pays attention to. Easily overlooked, but highly integral. We have another image here from the Canon 5D Mark III, but this was shot with the Magic Lantern RAW, and then in Lightroom it was converted to the Vision Log color space. And because this particular color space doesn't feature within Dehancer, I'll choose the Scene on Film log as my input profile. And the workflow is more or less the same as the one before. Once you've decided your input profile, you then choose the film stock that you want, and then to top that off, you choose the film print, whether it's linear or, for example, Kodak 2383, and there's others as well in there. It's a matter of taste, and of course there are certain technical aspects involved, but for that there's a lot of videos on YouTube that can go into kind of the nuanced technical details of the plugin. And so once you've chosen your film profile and film print, you can then go to tinker settings such as the contrast, and then top it up, as we said earlier, with halation, grain, and bloom. These kind of bring the things together. There are other aspects such as film breadth and gate weave that add to that filmic effect, but for a more detailed explanation of those, you can always visit Dehancer's website. Another image I have is from the Red Dragon 5K, and even though the camera isn't featured directly in the input profile of Dehancer, I can always choose from one of the other Red cameras and make sure to convert my raw image to the profile that is featured in Dehancer. So this is the IPP2 with the red wide gamut RGB. So once I've done that, I can go through the process as I did with the other images. One final thing I like about Dehancer is the false color option, which allows you to monitor the exposure levels of your image. And this helps to make sure that you haven't clipped your highlights or crushed your blacks. It is a great addition, especially if you use false color to monitor your image during production. For me, it is much more intuitive than reading scopes, for example. To add to this, you can also export a LUT from Dehancer and use that to monitor your image live if you have a screen that supports the use of external LUTs. This makes the process much easier, as the settings during production will be catered towards a determined look. So, to sum it all up, Dehancer is an all-in-one film emulation plugin suitable for a variety of digital cameras and even film scanned in Cineon. If you're interested in purchasing the plugin, please visit dehancer.com and use my promo code AMSURAK to get a 10% discount on checkout. Until next time, goodbye.